Hi, my name is Sheila Hyde, Realtor with Keller Williams Red Stick Partners, located at 8686 Blue Bonnet Boulevard here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. For all of my first-time home buyers, I'm your agent. You can reach me at 225-324-6619 or shoot me an email at shyde@kw.com and I can answer all of your questions. I know that buying a home for my first-time home buyers is something new and Greek to you, but I'm here to help you through the process of becoming a homeowner.
Miss Sheila gave me all the information I needed dealing with this house. It was late night, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. I had questions. I can text her. She'll call me back immediately. So she's a great realtor.
Good morning, everyone. This is Sheila Hyde with Keller Williams Realty Red Stick Partners. Welcome to the First Time Home Buyer Seminar done by via Zoom. In the past, we always do this home buyer seminar in person live at a alternate location, but because of what's going on in the country, it was best to do it via Zoom. So hope that you all can hear us. If you look down on your screen, you should have the ability to send us a message through chat of any questions that you have, or just to let us know that you're logged on. So there are 3 people on the panel, and those 3 people are myself, the realtor, and Stacy Williams. Stacy is a loan originator with Gateway Mortgage Group. And Scott is an attorney here locally in Baton Rouge. His name is Attorney D. Scott Carmouche. He's the owner and operator of Carmouche Title. So this is the panel. In the past, normally when we're in live, we normally have more people on the panel, like an insurance person and a home inspection person and an appraisal. But they were not able to join us for this one. So let's move along, and just let you view this screen, and I hope that you can see the PowerPoint. And the question is, why are we here? And that's the question you should be asking yourself. You're here basically to learn how to navigate through everything to become a homeowner. And our job is to help you navigate through the steps to become a homeowner. So let's move on. We are going to, some of these I am skipping because the loan originator will go over them for you. Let's talk just a little bit quickly about fear. Most home buyers are afraid to buy a home because you don't know the steps. So the 3 of us on this panel, we work as a team to educate you on the buying process. And so a lot of consumers will call and they'll say, you know, I don't know if I can afford to buy a home right now. Or I don't know if this is the right time for me to buy a home, or I just don't know the steps. And that's where we come in to walk you through the steps. So that's what we're gonna kind of do at an accelerated speed today, is walk you through the steps. Also, if anybody would like to have a copy of this PowerPoint presentation at the end, just text me and I will send it to you. Okay, the 8 steps for home ownership. Number 1, you have to decide mentally that you are ready to buy. Number 2, you have to hire an agent. And guess who that is? Me, Sheila Hyde, realtor with Keller Williams Realty. Third, you have to secure financing, and that is done through our loan originator, Miss Stacy Williams. Fourth, you have to find your home. Once Stacy gets you approved, she sends you back to me, and then you and I talk more of what type of home you want, where you want to live at, the whole 9 yards, and then I do a search to find your home. Next, after we find your home and your offer is accepted, we make the offer. After you tell me this is the one I want to make the offer, I'll sit down with you. I help you come up with a good offer to make on the house. Once the seller accepts your offer, I send the paperwork over to Stacy, and Stacy starts to, ask you for documents and other things that she's going to need to get you to that closing table. At that point, it kind of becomes a silent thing between the agent and the buyer. But you can always feel free to contact me, even during that silent part. Ask me any more questions you have. If you're confused on anything, I will always be there to help you. Then after Stacy tells me you have a clear to close, then you and I go back into the house for what we call a final walkthrough to make sure the house is in the same condition that it was in when we made the offer, when you made the offer on the house. Then we also go through an inspection period. That inspection period is before Stacy gives me the clear to close, telling me that you're clear to close. We go through an inspection period where you hire an inspector. The inspector comes to the home, inspects the home to make sure you're not buying a lemon. And then there's a report that's given to you as the buyer and given to me as your agent. And you and I go through and decide what on that list that you want that seller to either repair or replace. After that, and you say, okay, I can live with everything that they're offering to do, let's move on with the sale. Then we're just waiting for Stacy to give a clear to close. Once the clear to close is done, given, Stacy communicates, and she's been communicating with the title attorney, and then they're doing their thing together, getting the documents and the packet together and all of that so that we can actually go to the closing table and you can actually get your keys. At this time, I'm gonna stop talking now, and I'm gonna turn this over to Stacy so that she can tell y'all the next step of this buying process. And hi, Valerie. Okay, Stacy Williams with Gateway Mortgage is gonna talk to you now.
Hi, my name is Stacy Williams Honore, and I'm with Gateway Mortgage Group. I'm going to talk to you about the home buyers process. Can y'all see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. The first step to the home buyers process, of course, is to get pre-qualified. Getting pre-qualified helps you to know how much you can afford to buy, and it gives you buying power when it's time to make an offer if you already have a pre-qualification letter. You would meet with your realtor, which would be Sheila Hyde of Keller Williams Realty. You would make an offer, and after you make an offer, I will get a copy of the purchase agreement and I'll determine which product is best for you. Sometimes it can be a USDA loan if it's in the outskirts of Louisiana. If it's in the Baton Rouge, Maine area, we may have to do a FHA loan or a conventional loan, but I will handle all of that. Most of our products, we have down payment money, which can help you come in with little to no money down. So that part of the process, you don't have to be concerned about. Me and your realtor will decide what's the best loan for you based on the property, and then we'll just get information from you. After you secure an offer, you normally get a home inspection done to make sure that the house is in good quality shape and that the bank will accept the property and that you'll be pleased with the property. After that, we'll start working on getting all your paperwork, getting your hazardous insurance in order, getting your title work from Mr. Carmouche at the title company, and having everything ready for closing. After we're done with that, we'll get a clear to close. We'll send it to the title company and you'll get your keys. But it's some steps in between that you should do at the beginning before you start looking for a house. Preparing your credit. The first step, of course, I will pull your credit. If your credit is not what it needs to be, I have tools that'll tell me what you need to do. Like maybe you just need to pay down a credit card. We may need to write a few letters. I can help you with that. And one good thing that happened Friday, the credit score went back down to 620. So that was a big break because it had gone up to like 660 on some products and 680. And yesterday it went back down. So that's great. If you have any errors on your credit report, you can dispute those. We only dispute them if you're not exactly right at the time of buying the home. You don't want to dispute a house if you're about to buy it in the next month. But just say your credit score is 100 points away and you have things on there that's not really correct, then we can dispute those and try to get those off while your credit is increasing. But sometimes in order to purchase the property, you have to have the disputes removed. And so we'll work with you with that as well. You want to refrain from making large purchases. Sometimes people want to buy a car or something before you purchase the home. It's always best to have less bills as possible going into your purchase. The day of your closing, after you get your keys, you can go buy a new car right that day and your furniture. Avoid closing open lines of credit. So if you have a credit card and just say you have a zero balance, don't close it. Keep it open because you're adding credit points. If you close the credit card, that will lower your score and also take your months of utilization. And the more months of utilization, which means the longer you've had credit, the higher your score is. So you don't want to do anything that can damage your credit at that time. Okay, and what is pre-qualification? Pre-qualification is basically letting you know how much house you can afford. And what we do is I take your income that you make and we subtract the debts that you have and we add what the house note approximately would be. And that's how we get a pre-qualification amount. And that way, just say if you a little close to amount, we can, maybe pay down a credit card, and there's different avenues that we can do to try to help you get into the home of your dreams. Sometimes I can layer down payment programs. It's a lot of paperwork, but it's worth it in the long run. Sometimes I can give you 2 different programs and it'll give you a advantage of being able to get a nicer home. Okay, and there's a different types of loans. One is a conventional loan. That loan has a down payment of 5%, but sometimes if you're a first home buyer, you've never owned a home, I can get it at 3%. We also have the down payment assistance with that loan. That loan, you normally have to have a higher credit score, but it is obtainable. I'm gonna skip the jumbo loan. The construction and rehab loans, those are loans usually for people that have had homes before, like this is not your first home. The FHA loan is a loan that we use a lot of. That loan is very forgiving of credit history. You can have lates on your credit and they still give you an accept and approval. So that's the loan that we use mostly, and that loan could be used all over the state of Louisiana. We have the down payment program for that, and also the seller can pay 6% of the closing costs, which normally on a loan over $100,000, it always covers it if the seller is willing to pay. A VA loan is a loan that's 0% down. We also have the down payment assistance program with that, and basically with those loans, you can come in with little or no money down. On all of the loans, the FHA and the conventional, most of the time with the down payment programs that you basically come in with little or no money down, and sometimes you even get your deposit back at the close. It depends on how much the seller is willing to pay in closing costs. USDA loan, that's 100% finance loan. It's basically for the outskirts of Louisiana, like in Port Allen, Gosma, Livingston, Gonzales, St. Gabriel, anywhere outside of Louisiana, outside of Baton Rouge area. And so that loan, we could definitely get you in with no money down because I have the down payment assistance. If the seller pays a little closing cost, you basically get in with no money, and most of the time you'll get your deposit back as well. So that means you'll be leaving the closing with a deposit check and you're getting your house for free. Now, we do like for you to have money saved or money in your 401k. Even though we don't use it, it's called reserves. What reserves are is money left over after the loan in case there is, I guess if you have any problems. The lender knows that if you have money saved up, it's a less likely chance that you'll have a foreclosure. So even though you need money, it doesn't mean you have to spend the money. So you don't have to be afraid if you have $4,000, and because a lot of times people tell you, don't tell them you have money. We're not trying to take your money. We're trying to help you get the best product. And believe me, I look at everything before it goes in, so I'm not gonna set you up, you know, to fail. I want you to be able to get the loan. So I'm not against you. I'm always your friend. So you can, you know, tell me. And sometimes even if you don't have the money, if you're about to get paid like on the 15th, we'll let you just get a printout from your bank statement from your last statement up until the 15th to show your paycheck. And so sometimes that can get you reserved. So we're very flexible, and you know, we're trying to help you get your new home. And I don't want you to be scared. And sometimes I know the economy and everything going on now, some people are afraid, but even if you get a home and you get in trouble, you can always rent the home out. You'll get more money than what your mortgage, what you have to pay. And so you don't have to be afraid to buy a home. A home is a great asset, and it's always a way to keep the property. You don't have to, even if you can't live in it, you get in a bind, you can always rent it. And I've done that before, rent a house, you know, and I rent houses, and you always have a little extra money from it. So you don't have to panic. It's just a joy to be able to get a new home. Thank you guys for listening. My name is Stacy Williams Honore, and I'll be happy to help you on your new home.
All right, next we're gonna have the title attorney, D. Scot Carmouche, owner and operator of Carmouche Title. He will go ahead and tell you what his role is in the home buying process.
Hello, I'm D. Scot Carmouche, and let me share my screen with y'all here for a second. Okay. So I'm D. Scot Carmouche with Carmouche Title, and I'm your attorney in the closing process. My main function in the closing process is to protect the rights of the buyer and to protect the rights of the lender. We protect the rights, we protect your rights by searching the public records. We ensure that 100% of all ownership rights transfer in every transaction for the past 30 years. We cure any title issues. One possibility is no succession was performed in one link of the title. Another one is missing an interest owner in one of the links of the title. We make the buyer aware of possible encumbrances, such as overlapping driveways, neighborhood fence on your property, or non-compliant structures on your property, such as a shed, a pool, or a ditch. We protect the rights of the lender. We ensure that the lender's rights in the property prime all other rights. That is, that they come first. We do that by searching the mortgage records. Excuse me. We have the seller pay off any outstanding mortgages. We have the seller pay off any outstanding liens. And we have the sellers pay off or cure any outstanding judgments. I am your attorney. It starts the moment you sign the purchase agreement. The purchase agreement is a contract like any other contract, and I'm here to help explain any of those contract clauses if you have questions about them. I help you resolve issues between the buyer and the seller. The seller may want to leave items to be picked up later on your property. I develop and execute a contract that will protect your rights and obligations with leaving that property on your land. Excuse me just a second. If the seller has a tenant or an occupant that doesn't want to leave the property, we make sure that we protect your rights, either that you get the property prior to moving on free and clear, or that if they're going to stay there for a while, you're compensated for them being on your property. If the seller must perform costly repairs, but they can't do so until after they get the proceeds from the sale, we make sure that there's a contract that ensures that the repairs are done correctly and to your standards, or that the escrowed money is given to you so that you can do the repair. We also, of course, help on closing day documents. We ensure that all documents necessary for closing are accurate and ready to be executed. We ensure that all documents are executed properly, and we ensure that all documents are recorded in the proper location. And finally, we help you celebrate your new home with Sheila and Stacy. Again, I'm Scot Carmouche with Carmouche Title.
Okay, so I am going to now talk to you. Let me see if I can pull it back up. Yes. Let's go over, and this will be the last part because we do have some door prizes, and we want you all to be able to ask us a few questions. So after we get the offer accepted, as you see on the screen and stuff, these are the three ways that a seller can respond. They can accept your offer, they can reject your offer, or they can counter your offer. We always go for the first, accept for the first time. But if they don't, and they if they counter your offer, we're still in the ballpark. We're still playing the game with them. So that's a good thing. Once that offer is accepted, like I said, you get with Stacy, and then she gives us that clear to close, then I would be calling you and saying, congratulations, we're going to the closing table. Scott office will get with you to tell you the day and the time after him and Stacy works it out, what's the good day and time to close it. And then you get your closing keys at the end, and you become a homeowner. My job does not stop after I close the deal with you as your agent. I'm your agent even after the sale. I still have people that I've sold homes to years ago that will still call me when they run into a problem or they're ready to sell and move up to the next home. So an agent's job is never done. We're always available to answer whatever questions you have. So at this time, if you all have any questions for us, go ahead and start, typing in some questions in the chat so that we can see them and try to answer them for you. And again, you have each one of our names, our telephone numbers. You should see them on the screen. And our email addresses, my email address is showing up on the screen. Stacy and Scott's email address was on the flyer that I posted on Facebook. But if you need any information from us after this, please do not hesitate to contact us. We are here to help you become a homeowner. I want to see all of you become a homeowner. It is the American dream. And as long as you're disciplined, you listen to us and you do what we tell you to do, you will get keys to a home. We make that promise to you, but you have to go through the process in order to get to the closing table. Once you go into Scott's office, then you know it's for real. I'm getting a house. I'm about to be a homeowner within the next, let's say, what's Scott, 30 to 45 minutes, or even less. Just depends on how many documents you have to them to sign, then you become a homeowner.
My experience with Carmouche Title was great. They handled everything very well. Everything was laid out and it was a super fast, super easy closing.